Hey Scorpio, today we're doing your love read. This is for anyone Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus in the sign of Scorpio, and as always, general read, so take what resonates, leave what doesn't. So Scorpio, during meditation, what I heard is decisions, decisions, decisions. So this feels still like a time of reflection for you when it comes to this connection. And I don't know, it feels like a battle, Scorpio, to be honest. This doesn't feel like this was someone you were with temporarily for a lot of you. Some of you have children together. So I feel this is a matter of staying together or moving, to a new direction. So let's see what guidance. If anything, I feel this reading is really a time of reflection or intuitive nudge for you, Scorpio, or cross watcher, because I just feel like someone's definitely in serious contemplation here and not able to. I just don't feel like the spirit is able to be still yet. That's what it feels like to me. Give me one more for Scorpio. So yeah, retreat. It's time to disconnect from the world. I just feel it's a quiet space for you. Here we have Fuller. This could be the one, and children. There we go. A lot of you do have children with this person. This could be the one. It's just that this is your person. This is someone you thought you would be a long time with, and at the same time, I feel like you guys are just questioning whether this is the right person. Wow. And bottom of the deck here is very soon. So clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. So definitely decisions here. This flirt card, I really think the important message here is more about flirtation. It's about light energy. So extend your lighthearted energy to others. I feel that the energies are very heavy in terms of how you feel. So I feel lighthearted energy. We're talking about extend you're not yet there, because I'm feeling an energy in your spirit that just is feeling pulled in many directions of how you feel about your perspective on this relationship. So let's see. And retreat may not be like a time apart for some of you. Retreat could just be a mental, like it's your mind that needs time and space to think. So let's see what's going on with this connection. You guys don't have to be in separation for it. It just means that you're kind of maybe distant right now. There's emotional distance. So yeah, shadow work here. I think, and trapped in fear. Again, lots of mind. This goes deep, and I think there's this energy of, I feel you're realizing, Scorpio, that you both have light and dark aspects of yourself. And I think you both see the good and the bad, and that's what I mean by that. Like, you see the good and the bad. But there's a but, right? There's a but here. So spiritual strength is the Knight of Wands, crown chakra. Yeah, a lot in the mind. It is weighing. I feel spiritual strength. Again, to me, this is a spiritual pool. Your spirit, Nine of Wands represents, the wands represent the soul. So there's a constant thinking. 9 is hermit energy. Again, to me, always represents this energy, the disconnect, where we kind of have to retreat to ourselves. Another 9 here with the 9 of Pentacles, which is, I really feel this energy of like, I see what's happening here. Ace of Wands. So for some of you, and maybe a lot of you, maybe your wants are different. And I think even there's probably a disconnect with how to go about life. It's one of those things where it's like a season, and it's a season within the soul. I want to focus on that, Scorpio, because the soul always goes through a season of change, and it doesn't necessarily mean it's not going to be in alignment with our person. And this is where the souls always need to talk when in relationships. This is where relationships get complicated, because the Ace of Wands, the soul, is burning and desiring something. And sometimes we don't know what that is, but we're desiring something here. And that's right now there's this really strong pull for you to kind of, you're very much in your headspace here with the crown chakra, but also needing time to get clarity of, I feel emotionally how you feel about it, what's your attachment to it, how it's going to show up in your world, what matters to you in your physical, because Nine of Pentacles is about what your life shows. Like, you know, your life is a reflection of who you are in the inside. So the outside things that you have, you know, it's just kind of human nature to have some level of wants and desires on a physical level of how we feel. I also feel like you need to decide what's priority here, even if those things are actually important, and if they actually make you happy. Like, are they things that actually feed your spirit, feed your soul when it comes to this connection? So, can you remember the spiritual strength? Queen of Cups, again, your emotions. Yeah, you're not in a space stagnation here. Two of Swords. Emotionally, this is what I'm saying, your emotions, you can't, I just don't feel you're in a space to make a decision yet. Someone here isn't. Scorpio, maybe not you, maybe your person, but this is water sign, Queen of Cups. So there's a need to kind of, you gotta kind of emotionally go back in. Let's see about this crown chakra. Wow, okay. You know, this Ace of Pentacles was in the bottom, so obviously it has to do with your physical, right? So Three of Cups, Ace of Pentacles, and another 9. So now we have the 9 of Cups. We have the 9 of Wands. We have the 9 of Pentacles. We have the 9 of Cups, and bottom of this is the 9 of Swords. And think about it, it's clarifying the crown. So the mind is definitely overthinking about fulfillment. You know, what makes you happy? Does this relationship, you know, Three of Cups, make you happy? Is it really leading you to the solid foundation that you're hoping for? I think this is about the physical aspects of your life. Maybe you're in a space where, again, we're talking about the 9, so the South, you're in a space where, or someone here is in a space where, you know, maybe, you know, when the soul and the spirit goes to that space where, you know, I'm not where I thought I would be at this point in my life. So let me get more on this Ace of Pentacles. And this is a new direction, yeah. Emperor, and of course, there goes the Hermit. And that's just what the Hermit energy. Virgo season was very strong. I cannot stress that. You've got all the 9s here. Hermit, my major arcana is 9. So you're representing all the minors, which is the self. So you're in this space of really, like, the Emperor is solid. The Emperor is a planner. Also, the Emperor has experience. So combined with the Hermit, that means there's just something deep that's happening within your soul. I really feel this. It's kind of like a life. It's like a life review. And, you know, we have Queen of Cups again, and then the 5 of Swords. Yeah. So is this connection, the complications of this connection, leading you to your 3 of Wands? Is it hopeful? Is it leading to movement forward? 10 of Pentacles. Are we moving forward? Is this moving me in the direction I want? Is my life where I want it to be? I just feel a lot of contemplation here. Came around this material harvest. Why the 9 of Pentacles? This is deep, yeah. I mean, Scorpio, 3 of Wands, we're back to it again, right? We're talking about where your life needs to be. 3 of Wands here. This is about planning. And some of you don't, it's tough because I just feel a tough energy because does it feel like it almost feels like staying could mean complacency and not accomplishing something. But that's not necessarily true, right? Because it really depends. And maybe that's why this Five of Swords is because everything's a constant fight. You know, maybe there's things just, it's just, I feel that there's a Five of Swords can represent a lose-lose situation. So it's almost like, what's the point of trying to engage? Five of Swords represents the mind, and it means that the minds of those involved are just not in the same space. And 5 represents change. So this feels like an energy of not being in the same space at the moment. Let's see this Ace of Wands. The Tower, yeah. Give me more of this Ace of Wands. 7 of Cups was in the bottom, so this is about dreams. Does this mean that drastic changes, letting go? Give me more of the Ace of Wands. Ace of Cups with the 7 of Wands in the bottom. So you've got 2 aces here. And this could mean choosing a new direction for a lot of you. Choosing a new love, choosing to really go for what your desires are. It's a very big decision here. I'm going to clarify this Tower. 5 of Pentacles wants to show up, so it could mean releasing something. Give me more on the Tower. It could mean rejection. 6 of Wands and the Judgment. Give me more on this Tower. Yeah, and another 5 shows up. 5 of Wands with the 9 of Wands again, going back to this energy. We're just emotionally stuck on what to do. So this is definitely a judgment call. With the 6 of Wands, will you accomplish the things you want? This is also kind of choosing you. The 6 of Wands can mean recognizing. Sometimes it also represents the ego. And this is a judgment call on going in a new direction, and it's going to cause conflict. Some of you, it has been a fight. So this is where the thinking is. So nothing to me, nothing yet is set in stone. Maybe some of you, remember, all of you are in different timelines. I read in the now, right? Because I feel the energies in the now, but doesn't necessarily mean it's the now, right? You guys can be in different timelines. But this Tower could also represent the rejection of the connection and it creating the conflict and putting both of you in this position to have to think about what you want. And it's just what brought up all this rise of discussions that, you know, now have both of you in the space of kind of thinking, and there's no movement. I don't feel movement with this 2 of Swords. Let me get more on this 2 of Swords. Yeah, there's clarity needed. Ace of Swords. So you have 3 aces here. So it's either you guys, there we go, Queen of Swords and the Fool and the World and the 8 of Cups. Wow. Will this mean for some of you that ending this connection is the way to go and starting over? And I feel this is why the 2 of Swords, I really have to say, for some of you, the moving, the new is more heavier on your mind. This is new. But the space is a time to really disconnect and think, because there's a lot at stake here. Clearly, a lot of you are with children. And there's a lot to think about. So let's see what the blockages are, Spirit. What are the blockages are for this connection? So we've got 3 cards that just fell. Yeah, aware. Stop sweeping it under the rug. I think this was probably something that's been hanging over you guys for some time. And it was one of those things where you ignored, and hoped, right? We all have hopes that things get better, but something's transitioning here, and this is a blockage. So there's no more sweeping it on the rug. That was, to me, that represents the Tower with the fight. So the actual conflict of making this judgment call to kind of put a pause on things. Emotions are heightened right now. Yes, they are. And this is why I feel like it's not the right time to make a decision. So there are too much emotions. And I think until we settle into how we feel, it's almost like we don't feel comfortable yet. So this is why I say nothing feels set in stone. And affirm, take back your power with positive self-talk. You know, this is a lot what the mind can do. And the mind can really put you in a space. And I feel that that's where the crown chakra here, some of you really need to think about, right, with the Nine of Swords, about this relationship, of what it means to get back together. And maybe there are still hard feelings here, right, when it comes to how you feel. I'm going to clarify the Nine of Swords real quick. Give me more on this Nine of Swords. Yeah, so there's healing, the Star. I feel like this, yeah, and waiting, Seven of Pentacles in the bottom. It's like a pause. And, you know, for some of you, this energy is an energy of really kind of thinking what your desires are. And again, the Star, for me, I go very spiritual, Scorpio, so it always represents our soul. And the soul in this moment is calling for growth. And that's kind of what it feels like. And, you know, there's a definitely soul pool here, the spirit, the soul, you know, the robbing of joy. Maybe something just doesn't feel right. Something doesn't feel right here. All right, so let's see what the guidance is for you, Scorpio. What is the guidance for Scorpio? So we have surrender. Yeah, the situation asks you to surrender to the divine plan, let go of control, and watch your life return to a peaceful state. So there's a need to surrender. And then gratitude. Thank you. Practice gratitude. Take one moment a day to think about the things and people you are grateful for in your life. When you have a grateful heart, this will multiply and more grateful blessings will be coming your way. Be thankful for what you already have. Yes, guys, I don't know. This feels a lot like perspective. And the reason I say this is because there's nothing negative here. There's no third party I'm feeling. I just feel like the soul and the spirit is in a space. And, you know, there's a need to be grateful. Maybe we're not looking at the great things and then focusing on the other things, which I feel that's the energy of the Nine of Pentacles. So that's why this is not easy to think about or to come to a decision, because you have to prioritize. So what are you grateful for? You have to prioritize what are the most important things in your life right now, as someone does. I'm just saying you, Scorpio, but you guys know where the shoe fits here. So let's see what other guidance for you. Oh, this is too many, Spirit. What's the guidance for Scorpio? Okay, fine. Yes, nothing. On days I feel like nothing, I remember the vast nothingness of space. There is beauty in the state of nothing. And, ooh, guys, Scorpio, whoever this is a space of not knowing. Right? And sometimes these spaces are necessary for this hermit energy, this clarity, because all the nines are here, and this to me represents this space of void, of kind of feeling a little blah too, you know. So let's see, we have shatter. The things that shatter you and break your heart can open your eyes. And I think definitely emotions are heightened here, and the hearts are shattered, which means that since things are, it may still feel fresh, But yet the eyes are opening and we are gaining clarity, but that requires time healing as well. And the universe, I am living in an infinite universe, and there's an infinite universe living in me. I really feel that's the energy of gratitude. When we realize that we make our universe, right? I am living in an infinite universe, and there is an infinite universe living in me. Knowing that there's an infinite universe, that other people can't stop us really necessarily on what we want. And for those of you who need that hardcore, like, well, if they're on the boat, they're on the boat, but if they off the boat, they off the boat. And so they need, you know, we also need to know that other people have dreams. And also, we also have to recognize that not everybody's at our pace if we want to move forward aggressively, you know. So we have to know what our nature is when it comes to going about life, and that changes with age and time and experience. So it all depends on what everyone has experienced individually. And I really have yet to come across a situation where it doesn't the conflict within yourself doesn't show up until later in life. And usually these are the things that kind of happen, which is also necessary, which is why Spirit is saying surrender. This situation is asking you to surrender to the divine plan, let go of control, and watch your life return to a peaceful state. And this is where I'm saying, like, the spirit is just not at peace right now, and so it needs time right now to resolve itself, and it can't make any really drastic decisions. That's just how I'm feeling this here, Scorpio. So Scorpio, I love you.